Hey YouTube, Triumph Guy here today, and we are on part 2 of the restoration of this 1970 vintage alpine sprite caravan. So let's get to it. So the first thing I did was lay this lovely solid hardwood flooring. Now, a lot of people will say you can't do this because it's going to be moving and the temperature differences will mean it will move. However, my idea behind it was that the floor underneath is wood and it's held up with wooden beams with a couple of metal beams, so it should be alright, and if worse comes to worse, it cost me £50 from Marketplace. So, first of all, caravans aren't straight, okay, especially an old one like this, so it's always measure up your flooring from a central point, but don't use any of the caravan flooring, which any of the caravan furniture, because what you'll find is sometimes that's kind of wonky, like my last one. So find a central point, use loads of points along the caravan, and then gently lay it down before you start gluing down the first one. Now what I actually did is I actually screwed in the first couple of panels once they're perfectly straight, and I think this helped with the rest of the flooring. Now as you can see, these are tongue grooves, so they just slot in next to each other. It's all really important that as you're going along you're closing the gaps, because if it's wonky here, then you've got no chance. Also, point to note that some of this flooring is wrong, so they're slightly, so I'd say out of every packet there's one bit which is slightly wonky. Just take that out and then start again and use that on one of the last bits you lay, so it doesn't affect the whole flooring if you desperately need it, or obviously bin it or use it for something else. Next thing I did was insulate it, or half insulate it until the rest of it turned up, and put a bit of hardboard over the top to see if that would fit. So luckily the in-laws actually gave me this for free, so that was nice. It was left over from their hot tub, and it's basically just a bit of fiberglass wrapped in aluminium bags. I did slit some of the bags with a Stanley knife to cut them to size, and then taped them back up with insulation tape. One thing I would suggest is swapping the blades out to get a nice clean cut straight away. After that, I made a place for the doormat to go. I used a little bit of plywood to give the mat something to sit on, and I used these metal trims to go round. I used freezer paper, and I cut a template out first. Now this took ages, I'm not gonna lie, and freezer paper so that we can stick it down on top of this mat. Once you've done that, you'll get some fabric spray. Do your own research, but you just use the fabric spray on Amazon, spray over the top of it, and then you should be good to go, and hopefully it looks better than mine. The reason I didn't go on Etsy, they're about 25 quid on Etsy, is that no one would actually supply me with a mat small enough or adjust their print size and I would have cut it myself. I tried a few places, but I'm pretty happy with it. It's come up with that sort of DIY look, and it's not the end of the world. I then covered it with this clear waterproof spray just to try and prolong the life of the print. The next job was this ceiling, which was cladding. I got my dad in to give me a hand, and I went for 30 centimetre strips. First of all, you put this bit on the side, a side panel, that drills straight in and it holds the sort of shape. And then what we did is we actually pushed a bit of hardboard between the strip before screwing it down, so we could slot all the other hardboard bits in, so it gives us that 3mm gap all the way around. We sawed them, and also you can use a standing knife if you really want to. And then we just go up, putting the screws in to the roof. It hid any blemishes in the roof, the ceiling, and also it just sort of means that it's sort of mold resistant, so it's easily cleaned, because there will be 5 of us in it. And I really was happy with how it hugged the roof. Halfway there, and what we did is we actually had a couple of offcuts which we used for size. As you can see by the light difference is that how long it actually took us in the end. It took a lot longer than expected. We come into a few problems, but I'm really happy with it. And here's with the lights on. And that's it for today's video. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos, especially on this Caravan. Next time we're going to be doing the hardboard. We're also going to be adding the shore power in. We're also going to be adding the whole 12-volt system in from scratch, because as you know, this had no electronics. So yeah, I'll see you on the next one.